welcome. So I just want to touch a little bit on what mindfulness is, and why we practice, and how it can really help us in our daily lives, and ways to use it more, just integrate it more deeply into our daily lives. So a big part of what we're doing is we're really becoming intimate with what's going on for us, and learning really to be with what is, and not to fight it or resist it, because that in itself, when we resist what is happening for us, especially internally, it creates more suffering, and then we create a war with ourselves. So we're learning to allow for what is going on for us to come up, and even just becoming aware of how we respond to things, because once we develop that level of awareness, we can then learn to respond more effectively in life, rather than reacting automatically, or rather than automatically being taken by our thoughts. Now, it isn't something that happens overnight, but it is something that definitely, with retrospect, when you look back, you can really see how much better we respond in the world once we start practicing these practices. So it's learning to allow for what is happening to really happen, and for us to really feel it, because then we really learn to know what works for us and what doesn't, and it becomes much easier to make decisions in our life that are good for us, because we felt it and really experienced it in our body, rather than just knowing it intellectually. And that when you really experience something, it makes it so much easier to make the choices that are better for our health and our well-being, than if it is just an intellectual understanding. So those are the main takeaways that I would like to offer you at this point. There are also ways in which we can bring a mindfulness practice to any given situation. So there's people who do mindful walking, mindful eating, mindful tea drinking, mindful driving. Any situation in your life, you can really invite yourself to really be present, rather than to be thinking, and rather to be rushing it or distracting yourself. Like driving, you might just blast the music and keep going, but sometimes you could practice some mindfulness while driving, and really feel the steering wheel, be really aware of the leg movements with the brake and the clutch if you're using a clutch, or just the brake and the acceleration if it's automatic. Just really feeling what's going on, being really present, bringing this quality of presence. Personally, I find mindful eating or drinking a cup of tea to be really good, especially like a really yummy, juicy fruit like an orange or a peach or something like that. So not a whole meal, like you can do a whole meal, but to begin with, it'll be much more accessible to you if you start with just a piece of fruit or just a cup of tea. And feeling the fruit in your hand, or whatever it is you're eating, and you're really feeling it in your hand, smelling it, and really savoring each bite. So eating slowly, taking one bite, and really chewing, really tasting, really feeling it in your mouth, and chewing it as much as possible before swallowing, and then feeling the swallowing experience, and then seeing how it feels in your body and how it might affect you in your body. So, and the same for tea. Tea is a very easy one, I find. Feeling the warm cup in your hands, maybe closing your eyes and smelling it, and slowly drinking it, really feeling it the warm water essentially going in your mouth, on your tongue, down your throat, into your belly, just being really present with this experience, because this is a quality it would be nice to have in our daily life, and it'd be nice to have with our conversations with people and our interactions with all of it. So just taking selected moments is a great way to realize that it isn't something we just have to do sitting in silence, but it is something we can do at any point in our days. And the same goes for mindful walking, just really being present, the ideal is you're taking so super slow steps, But if you don't have to do that to begin with, but just slowing down the pace and really feeling one foot go down as the other one goes up, just really being aware of the step by step, how the rest of the body moves, the sounds, the smells, the feelings, just really inviting this level of awareness. And it might just be for 1 minute, to begin with, or forever, but whatever it is, that's perfect. It is all perfect. The point is you have set the intention to do it, and you are doing it. You're taking the action to do it, and sooner or later you will reap the rewards of your efforts. So that is just what I wanted to place in your thoughts, is this encouragement to practice mindfulness in other areas of your life. My heart to yours. So much love.